Now that Battlefield 2042 has been revealed and gameplay has been shown, we've gotten some information on some game modes. The main one, of course, being All Out Warfare, where it's this massive 128 players. They keep pushing that. Conquest and Breakthrough are coming back, and there's just more players than ever before, so it's going to be huge. But the one game mode that's got everybody talking right now is Hazard Zone. So there's a couple descriptions that they have on the website, one of which being squad up and drop down into the Hazard Zone, an all-new high-stakes multiplayer experience. Stay tuned for more information coming later this year. So squad up and drop down into the Hazard Zone sounds like a battle royale. However, it also says it's an all-new high-stakes multiplayer experience. This pretty much just tells me that it's not going to be a battle royale because it's all new, because they've already done a battle royale with Firestorm. Didn't work out so great. I think that they could pull it off this time around, especially with the setting. However, it's not going to hurt my feelings if they don't come out with one, honestly. But we'll just have to see on that one. The other question is, what does the high stakes mean in high stakes multiplayer experience? Is it a one life, you get killed, that's it? Is there going to be like a loot system? People have compared this to Tarkov and kind of been like, oh, this is going to be maybe like their take on a Tarkov type game mode. Tarkov is pretty centered around looting, coming back to your hideout, stashing your stuff, and then going back out maybe with that same stuff. Maybe you go back in with the stuff you had before and try to get even more loot. And there's kind of like this whole system that runs Tarkov, and unless they kind of bring that type of system to Battlefield, I don't know what exactly would be high stakes about it. I think I would like to see a game mode like that. But I also said I would like to see a battle royale in Battlefield, and we got Firestorm. So, yeah. The second description for Hazard Zone is a tense experience that combines edge-of-your-seat gameplay with the best of the Battlefield sandbox. So it's probably going to be pretty huge, I would think. I don't know if it's going to be the same maps, if it's going to be its own particular map. We're going to find out more coming up. They really don't give you much, which is good. I mean, it's building hype, obviously. People are curious. I like the phrasing of high stakes multiplayer experience. It sounds a little more hardcore. And yeah, I mean, we'll see what it's going to be. So if you go to the website and you look up How We Got Here tab, they break it down in a Welcome to 2042 kind of summary of what's been happening the last 10 years, right? So it starts in 2031. To kind of summarize this summary, it basically just talks about how the NOPATs are the common people that have been left behind by the superpowers and have band together to kind of form almost a militia. It's almost like a third party. They're kind of like almost mercenary types where they don't really have loyalty to one country or the other. They're just kind of free roaming because it's all about survival at this point. Under the brink of war description, it says a food and fuel shortage ignites a shadow war between the US and Russia. To maintain plausible deniability, both sides field NOPAT task forces as proxies in escalating conflicts over resources, promising the refugees a piece of what's left. That kind of sounds like a Hazard Zone type game mode to me. You're fighting for either the Russians or the US. The fight is over resources, promising refugees a piece of what's left so you get a cut of whatever you win. So maybe that's the high stakes that you go into. So the Hazard Zone could really be a bit of a prequel. The next year down is 2042, where open war is imminent. NOPATs have no choice but to choose the sides that they're going to fight for, and their war is your story and all that stuff. There could be a world scale, kind of like how they did in For Honor, where there's a war going on and you pick a faction and you play. It's almost like a strategy type way to play. And maybe when you go into the Hazard Zone, that can fuel that type of game mode. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there, you know. Nothing to go off of other than certain descriptions. This could be nothing like what they have planned. These are just my thoughts. I just found it very interesting. There's a third game mode that they talked about, just a little bit. They didn't even give a name, in fact. It's being made by Dice LA, if that means anything to you. They just really touch on the fact that it's a love letter to the hardcore Battlefield fans, longtime players. And that's like a big key phrase that they've been using is a love letter to you guys. Created as a love letter to our core fans, a new way to play Battlefield is coming. Discover unexpected battles and enter the wide universe of Battlefield with this experience, which will be shown in detail at EA Play live on July 22nd. First impressions of reading that description is something, it sounds like an RTS. Of course, that's probably not what it is, but whenever I hear that description, it kind of reminds me of something like what Heroes of the Storm is. You know, you get all these characters from this wide universe of a Blizzard coming together in unexpected battles. Diablo is fighting Thrall or whatever the orc's name is. You know, that's what that kind of communicates to me. Is that the case? Probably not. But that's really all I have to go off of is the way they describe it. So obviously from the trailer that they released, they know what the players want. So this doesn't really bother me. I seriously don't think it's going to be an RTS or something like that. I've been a longtime fan of the series ever since Modern Combat. I didn't get a PC until much later, but I have been playing on console since as far into the beginning as I possibly could. So I'm just trying to think of what a love letter would look like from them. If you've been a Battlefield fan since the beginning, comment and let me know what you think a love letter to the Battlefield community would look like. What could they do that would just blow you away? But until then, I'm going to be playing Battlefield 4, which you can watch. I'm going to be starting a new series called Battlefield Boot Camp, where I get back into vehicles, learning how to drive them again. I mean, we're getting back to it. We're starting over from the beginning and trying to get back to a good point, so that way we're ready when 2042 launches. So subscribe if that's something you'd want to be a part of. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.